package. Another package. And another package. Let's open some packages. What we got here? I believe these are the springs. Let's see. Got all this stuff from American Muscle. Trying to lower the car just a little bit. Let's see. Let me put this down right quick. So that'll be 1.5 inches on the front, 1.5 inches on the back. They look pretty good. I don't know which is which. I don't know which is the front or the back. Get them out of here. That's on there. Pretty nice looking springs. That's gonna give me a little drop on my ride so it don't look like a truck sitting up so high. Let's see what we got in the other box here. Thinking these might be my shocks here. Oh, they was nice enough to send me a catalog. I guess I spend so much, they send me a free catalog. Want me to spend some more money. Alright. That's an empty box there. I don't know what that's all about. Oh, guess the shock must have fell out of it. That's a SR shock. Goes on the rear. Some hardware here. What else we got here? That's another shock. Oops. Let's see what we got in this one. Got one strut. And this should be the other strut. So basically I'm just doing an overhaul on the suspension. The car has about 194,000 miles on it. Original shocks and struts. So it's about time for a change. They done ran their service life. My ride feels a little bouncy and a little loose in the rear end. So pretty much just maintenance. I mean, it's not like a very performance change. Just trying to maintain everything, get good ride quality. So, looks like a quality strut. Probably end up doing it this weekend. As long as it don't rain. It was getting some crazy rain here lately. Let's go to this box and see what's in this box. I think it's my isolators. I bought some front and rear isolators for my springs. That just keeps the metal from banging into the spring purchase. To give you a little bit of a more quality ride. All that loud clanging noise. They must really love me. They sent me another catalog. Man, I might pass these out in the neighborhood. I'll get some more of them. Yeah, those are some isolators. I'm guessing these are the rear, maybe. Yeah, and these go in the front. I can tell by this. These little long pieces here, they go around the top coil of the spring. And alright, got the old stuff off, ready to put the new stuff in. This is just a little comparison. You can't really tell the difference in the height of the springs just looking at it from here. But the new ones are just a little bit shorter, and once they settle in, it's gonna give me an 1.5 inch drop. This is the old control arm. It's just factory stuff. They don't do nothing fancy. This is the new one. Looks a whole lot more sturdier. It's got like a tubular design versus the stamp design here. Spherical bushing up front. I think it's a polyurethane bushing on the rear. It's adjustable. It's got that jam nut right there. You loosen that to adjust it out. And you want to fit it the same way your factory one was fitting. And to do that, you have to run a bolt through each end. Make sure that bolt lines up with that one. And this bolt lines up with this end. And to do that, you loosen the jam nut and adjust it out until it lines up. And then you lock back down the jam nut. And make sure it's straight ahead. Make sure it's lined up with your control arm. You don't want it kind of cocked to the side. Might throw stuff off. These are my what do you call these things? Isolators. That's the factory one. 18 years of use. You expect for it to be dry rotted, you know, weather, road conditions. And these are the new ones. Once you see, they're pretty sturdy looking. So I'm gonna slap all the stuff together and it'll be good to go in the rear. I have to do the front later. I don't really mean for this video to be a tutorial, but one tip I want to give out if you're doing this by yourself. These hangers here, you're gonna have to unloosen them because the muffler is blocking one of the holes to get to the control arm. That's that hole right there, and the muffler is right here, so you can't really get to it. You're gonna have to take the hangers off and kind of cock your muffler to the side or get it where you can move your hand up in there. But if you're loosening these, one quick tip is to hit them with some kind of lubricant so you can slide the rubber off of that metal piece right there, because they can be a pain to get off. But what I did, I had some tire shine, Black Magic tire shine in the bottle, and I sprayed that on there and they slip right off. So any kind of oil-based product that won't deteriorate your rubber, make sure it's not harsh chemicals. And I know Tire Wet or Black Magic will work because you spray it on your tires and they don't eat your tires up. So rubber is rubber. But that's just a quick tip, just to get those off, because they can be a pain. So little but so difficult. Alright. Oh, another quick tip. To save you the hassle from guessing, both of these control arm bolts are 18 millimeter, because you will not be able to guess which one it is at the front end, because it's the muffler is blocking it. And I had to keep on doing trial and error, because you cannot see this bolt. You have to feel for it. But it's 18 millimeter, and it's the one that goes towards the front. The rear is easy to get to because you can see it. That one you can't. So they're both 18 millimeter. Alright, just installed my SR caster camera plates, and I was satisfied with them until I ran over bumps. When I ran over bumps, it's like everything just felt like it was gonna fall apart. And I don't know if anybody else ran into this issue, but at least with this particular caster camera plate, you have to install all of the bushings they give you. Now they tell you if it's 1.5 inches, you're going to use the short bushing, and you're going to use that on the bottom part, which you can't see, but you use that one down there. And up top, you're going to use whatever bushing you have left over. You're going to flip it to where the collar is going down inside of the bushing, inside of the spherical bushing, and then you screw your strut nut over it. You don't want your strut nut to be flush with the spherical bushing. You want something in between there, and that's going to take up that slack. And I believe what happened is when I didn't have this other bushing on here, my strut was allowed to travel further up and down instead of having something to cushion it. So that's just a little helpful hint if you're doing SR caster camera plates and you run into that problem. Make sure you don't have any bushings left over. You're going to use all the bushings. You might not use all the spacers, but you will use all the bushings. And you can see how that's fitting right into that groove. And before, I just had the nut sitting on that groove, and I think it allowed it more space, and that's what's making that banging noise. So I hope that helps. Remember, use all the bushings they give you if you're using SR. It might be different for another brand, but definitely SR. That cured all my rattling noises. So I hope that helps. And just torque it down to whatever spec they give you. And while I was at it, I thought I'd change out my tie rod ends also. As you can see, that shot is the same on the other side too. So I got some new ones. They're nice enough to come with a grease fitting, which I greased them up. You can see how puffy it is here. Got it all greased up, ready to go in. So I'll button everything back up and see how it rides. Okay, here's a little illustration of what I was trying to describe. On the top here, you're going to have your strut nut. You're going to have the remaining bushing. And this would be your spherical bush inside the camera plate. What happens is on the bottom you have your spacer. If you're running 1 inch to 2 inches, you use the short bushing and a spacer up under it, and you will push it through the camber bushing, and the collar would seat just like that. And in reverse, up top, you're going to use whatever bushing you have left over. You picture that as your strut nut. Picture that as the bushing that's left over. And this would be a spherical bushing on your camber. You want that collar to go into the spherical bushing. And what that does, it takes up space and presses it up against the strut nut, so it's going to be seated solid and you won't have all that moving around. So remember, you're going to use all of your bushings. And I hope that helps.